Me and Air, we are fully having a charcuterie night, and it is amazing.
Yes. It's an underrated classic snack, but it doesn't get enough play, I don't think. I mean, people talk about it a lot. It's on a lot of menus, but Wallace and Gromit knew it best.
Here, let me ask you this.
Okay.
Would you ever order a cheese plate, like a charcuterie board? Technically, charcuterie is meat, right? But would you
Yeah.
ever order a charcuterie board, like just cheese and crackers or even meat, okay, included, from a restaurant? Because I don't think you would.
No.
I would 100%.
Because I feel like you could get all those ingredients, but I feel like similarly to like a nice little dessert or a drink.
See, I agree, but here's the thing, like, you can get a beer at home.
You're right.
You get a glass of wine at home.
You're right.
You can get cheese and crackers at home.
I agree.
But sometimes you just want the ambience of a nice little sweet treat.
I get it. And I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's perfectly fair. And it's delicious, and I totally understand.
Guys, last night we watched Inglourious Basterds.
Yeah.
First of all, I still don't get why is it called that.
What do you mean?
Why is it called Inglourious Basterds?
Well, they call themselves the Bastards. The cat
They
food.
call themselves that? I thought they
The
called themselves the
Bastards.
Apaches.
No.
What is the Apaches?
He's the Apache. He's Aldo. That's what the main guy calls himself.
Why?
This is what he is. This is his name, bro.
Apache.
Apache. It's like a war thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought it was more of like an indigenous people thing.
No.
Hmm.
No. Not in this context, no.
That's what I thought immediately.
No.
Would you not hear the word Apache and think of an indigenous person?
Well, when they're calling Brad Pitt Aldo the Apache, no.
No, I thought it was just kind of like a little racist. You know what I mean?
I mean, I
I'm
wouldn't
sorry.
say... I wouldn't,
This is the second podcast we've opened with racism, and I know that it's not.
I mean, I wouldn't say he's like, you know...
I'm going to have this... The thing
known
with
for
this
his
olive, you
sensitivity.
guys, is there's a giant pit in it. And we went to this like little game night party at my friend's apartment, and she had the best little olives. They were so soft, they were so light, and they didn't have a pit in them. Usually there's not a lot of flavor when they don't have a pit, but with those there were. And I got these Trader Joe's ones. They're mid, you guys. They're fucking huge though.
They
Look
are
at them.
big. I don't like that.
I don't either, but I'm gonna have a bite.
Okay.
You don't like it? And if I have
It's
a bite,
no, that's fine.
does it turn you off a little bit?
Ooh.
Oh, clearly it does. I turn you off.
No, I'm just
I do.
saying it's the olive. Look at the olive. It's huge. It doesn't look natural. It looks like it defies convention.
It doesn't taste natural.
It looks a little not great.
I'll try.
I'm okay.
Okay.
And there's
salty.
a pit. There's a pit in it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know, it's a free
why?
country.
These are Italian and not Greek, and that's when you fucking know.
Well, were the other ones Italians? They were Greek. There has to be some good Italian olives.
There's always something good that's Italian. Always.
Oh my god.
If you look hard enough.
Okay.
But there's always something Greek that's better.
That's fair.
Am I bothering you today?
Not at all. Oh my god.
Sorry, I was just trying to enjoy my olive, but it honestly didn't taste as good as I wanted, and now I'm just disappointed that I bought a whole tub of olives and like it's not even going to be serving me, you know?
Mm-hmm. But that's life. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. That's okay.
What's your favorite scene from Inglourious Basterds?
The first one.
Right. Now, since we walked in 30 minutes late, I'm going to say that my favorite scene is probably... that's a difficult toss-up, to be honest. I really like the scene in the bar. But I also really like the little pastry scene.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to tell you guys, because you've known Aaron for a long time if you're watching this podcast. He used to have this Finsta account, which is a fake Instagram for all you people that are younger than like Gen Z. I don't even know who watches this. Gen Alpha, who knows? There was a time when Aaron and I were in high school where Finstas were really big, which were like fake Instagram accounts that like really only your closest friends could follow. And Aaron had one. And he also had one. Yeah, no, this was on his Finsta. and he posted this video of and photos of him making this like really layered apple tart, and it looked divine. And honestly, I think like that's part of the reason I was interested in him, because I was like, wow, he cooks.
It was a strudel.
It was a strudel. It was
Not
an
a tart.
apple strudel. Thank you for clarifying. And I see this movie years after I've gone through his Finsta and stalked it. And I know the minute I see that scene, that is the reason why Aaron made that fucking strudel.
Of course.
And 100% it was. There was like this, it looked delicious, I'm not going to lie. But
it was okay.
What was your strudel?
The one I made.
Would
That
you ever
one
try
looks
again? Did you feel like making it after you watched it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks delicious, does it not?
It does look delicious. I mean, it's a little hateful, but it looks divine.
The strudel looks hateful.
No. Just the scene itself.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's
It
fair.
gets a little unsettling, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Definitely. Agreed. Have you ever had one before?
A strudel? No.
Well, I've never had a good one. Only the ones I've made. Which were
You never
not
had a
good.
real one?
No.
Me neither.
Well, there you go.
Here's my thing for you. Okay. Do you think that Tarantino, because I saw a podcast where he was talking about how in the 80s it actually was not a golden era of film, and even though he was making movies at the time, it was actually a dark period. He said that, but I don't know if he was just being humble. Do you think that
Was it the 80s or 90s?
80s?
Oh.
That's what he said. He referred to it as the 80s, or maybe the 90s, but I feel like he was making films in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So why did he say the 80s?
No idea.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, the 80s weren't great movies, so that would make sense.
So maybe he was making movies in the beginning in the 80s and then it went to the 90s, or am I wrong?
Or in the end of
When
the 80s?
was his first movie
It was in
made?
the 90s.
Was always in the 90s?
Yeah. Reservoir Dogs was his first.
Huh. Maybe he said 90s.
I want to say 1994. That's my guess.
Okay.
Someone look it up. Aaron, editing Aaron, fact checker.
Fact check Aaron. Editing Aaron. Okay. What do you think of that, though? Because I was talking to my friend today, okay?
Yeah.
We were talking, and, you know, obviously, I'm not going to lie to you, the MTs for Michigan have been booking.
Yeah.
And it is always a constant thing. They're booking movies as well.
Uh-huh.
And it's always a constant thing of, like, the actors from Michigan, and I'm just, like, spilling the tea on here. They're never booking, ever.
Yeah.
And I used to think it was an issue of rep. Like, I used to think it's because actors aren't as repped as musical theater people, but that's not true necessarily, because I have been repped and I have not booked anything. And also I know other people who are repped who have not booked anything who are actors.
Yeah.
So it does kind of concern me. But the point is I was talking with my friend, and I kind of feel like we are in a dark time in film, like a very dark time. And as I was saying with Aaron earlier, I think that something that defines like a golden age, like you want to reach a certain point because other people are up there with you. Like, you don't want to just be a standout person. You want a ton of people to be standouts and then have that be like a golden era in a way.
Well, I think
this feels like a very fucking dark time, and I am a little bit scared. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I think that people maybe reach a certain level because they feel challenged by others.
Yeah.
So you see periods where there's a lot of good people at once, and then periods where there's not a lot of good people, specifically because I think that people are sort of inspired by and maybe the industry was smaller at the time, where people were more maybe working on same lots or making movies at the same time. I have no idea, but yeah, I agree. I think now there's I wouldn't even say a single person who has really, who's in like their 30s.
But what about The Brutalist?
Yeah, that guy. I think he's the first one.
Okay.
Maybe that I've seen who's at that level of just
agree.
doing interesting work. Not that The Brutalist was like this 10 out of 10, but I mean, it was
Well,
like,
I think it's more of the scale of.
it was the scale. It was his skill level. I mean, it's just, Yeah, I mean, it was the first thing where I was like, this is someone who's like trying so hard to make something great, and like parts of it are really great. And I feel like that was the first movie on like a mainstream like A24 scale. I feel like all of them lately have just been on a super Pinterest level. Like I feel
Well,
like Euphoria kind of just
I
like
was also
set the
talking with
tone
my
of.
friend. It's like people are really trying to create things that work double screen in the way of like,
Yeah.
is that interesting enough to scroll through visually?
Yeah.
And I don't think that the two carry. And I'm going to be honest, like, for example, you guys, like, we have a small audience on YouTube, very small, but with, like, even when we're posting reels and I'm posting them, I'm not thinking in my mind, like, people are going to see this reel and then click to our YouTube.
Right.
Because I don't think that it really translates. I think it could help you to have an audience somewhere. And people say nowadays that followers are like value, that they're of value.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. That kind of, honestly, at this point, you guys, ever since I got a job and I felt financially stable, I'm just kind of like, fuck it all. Like, I used to think, Aaron,
Yeah.
like, for real, I used to think, like, I really needed to book this job. Like,
Right.
I really needed to do this thing. And now I'm like, who gives a shit? Like, honestly. And pardon my language, but I could care less. At this point, if I want to take 20 days off from work to film a movie that I've created, that's the only thing I'm going to take time off for.
Right.
And before I will say I was getting really good auditions and I was feeling like the quality of the work was inspiring. But I just read like a script with one of my friends and we were laughing at how terrible the script was, and famous people just signed up on a Deadline article that was released for the short film, and I'm like, bro, everyone's struggling because the fact that these famous actors are like booking this like shitty short, it just really goes
Wait,
to
that was a
show-
short film?
It was a short film, bro.
Yikes, dude.
Like that's what I'm telling you. And I read it with her and I was like, we could barely get through it.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know
And
it
it's
was
not like we
short.
haven't seen shitty scripts before, but
Yeah.
that was like god awful.
And those were like, some were A-list people in there.
A-list people, for sure. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that people are just, it's a dark time. And I guess maybe it's just reflecting what it's like politically right now and globally. But I mean, God, it feels like a dark time. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right.
I'm sorry. I've
You're
had a
spitting-
rough day.
You're spitting truths. You're spitting truths, girl.
Am I being a little unhinged?
Not at all.
Just being honest.
I think you're totally right. I think everything you've said has been 100% on the
I'm gonna
money,
let
honey.
you talk now. I'm gonna let you talk.
No. I think you're ripping it, and I think you're ripping it in the best way possible, and I hope you should continue that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with everything that you said. I think it's a really weird time just across the board.
I guess just when we saw Reservoir Dogs, and I know this is so LA film bro Silver Lake hoe of me, but when I did see it, and I know my skin is crawling saying this, you guys, I know, I was inspired, you guys.
Of course, it's a great
and
movie.
I felt like, why is nothing like that right now?
I agree completely. I don't think a movie like that would be made now. Because you watch the scenes are like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
30, not 45, but scenes are like 30 minutes long.
Yeah.
For small scenes. Obviously, he could make whatever movie he wants. It doesn't matter. But like, he
Also,
would have.
there's just so much attention to detail.
Yeah, he really had fun with things that were like, even shit that like didn't matter. Like the fact that it needed to be nitrate film because it was more flammable than normal film, or who's
Yeah.
going to develop the film for the movie that they're making for like no one would even care, but he thinks that that's like a fun thing to wrap a
Yeah.
bow on. So yeah, it's just, it feels really good to watch someone who has a lot of respect for movies. And I feel like there's not a lot of people who do right now. Unfortunately, for the reasons that I think you're talking about. I think that everyone is just chasing.
But when we went into that theater, it was full.
It was. You're right. I think that there's a demand for it. I think that people are tired of it. I just don't know what the reach is outside of like Los Angeles or Or, from the people who are just trying to maximize as much money as they can. Like, if there's 1% more money to be made in TikToks and scrolling and Instagram content, they're going to invest that money there because it's easier for them to do that. And honestly, I really do believe that's what... I think that AI is going to replace that first. So that's why we're leaning more towards shittier, brain-dead, TV shows and stuff.
Because you think that AI is going to replace that?
Because that's the easiest thing for AI to replace. Or like those TikToks and whatever, Instagram stuff.
Well, my friend who I went out to get drinks with, she told me that one of her friends who's she graduated from Northwestern. She's a very successful trained actress, and she makes money full time off of doing those shorts.
Doing what shorts?
Those vertical films.
Oh, interesting.
And
yeah, I think those are the first to go.
Yeah, I think that that's terrible. I think that the thing is like, I love acting more than anything, but I don't think I could do those vertical films.
No.
Like, I would rather just work a survival job than
Me
do those.
too.
Like, at that point, I think that would drain me more than doing a survival job.
Yeah, if you're compromising to the point where you're not even making something that feels...
And it's like the type of acting that's like, frankly pornographic. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Like not in a sexual way, but like in the same way that they act in porn.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Just
of
that
like,
creative,
oh my God. And
this
then
thing
my
happened.
millionaire husband.
Well, you have to do something that captures people's attention.
I think it's for people who are learning English maybe as well. Or like English is their second.
That makes sense.
Because sometimes I'll watch things like vertical stuff that are like sometimes in a different language.
Uh-huh.
And I think that that's shown to me because it's not my first language.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. But yeah, I think that is very easy to produce. You can produce that.
Or like a lot of my family in Colombia will like see these vertical.
Yeah.
They'll, like watch the vertical.
Right. That makes sense.
Well, I've been seeing like AI generated stuff of like people condensing like a whole movie, like an already made movie, down to like 30 seconds, and it's like an AI voice walking through like the whole plot. Have you seen those? And they get like hundreds of thousands of likes.
I watch them.
But that's crazy.
That's disgusting that I watch it, but it's addicting.
But yeah, like I think that's sort of what it's very easy to produce that. It's very easy to get 100,000 likes on something like that.
That has something instant, sort of like this instant gratification quality. And I don't know. I would be very skeptical of trying to go full in on influencer. I think that that's going to be gone in 5-10 years. I think that in a way that people feel like Hollywood and Netflix is dead, I really do think that 5 to 10 years from now, you will just not see
I think the influencer thing is just going to come and go.
But do you think that film will come back?
Yep.
Why?
Because people want to go out. People want to go out.
It's putting a lot of faith in humanity, Aaron.
That's what I believe in, baby. Baby girl. I think that you come into swings in terms of what people, in terms of people's interest level. I think that we're shifting much more into sort of like this health conscious attitude. Would you agree? Like people are a lot more health conscious.
Yeah, I also think it's because we live in LA, but yeah.
But I think in general, I think it's across the country. I think
yes.
country.
I think there's a health conscious aspect, but I also think that there's a negative aspect to that as well. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I agree. I don't disagree, but I think that
there's a positive aspect to that for sure, but there's also like those weird, like influencer people who like try to be young.
Totally.
And like turn into scary, creepy alien people.
Yeah, like that guy who like tries to be like biologically 40.
I don't like that. Apparently, like, I mean, you guys, my source is like a podcast that I listen to, but apparently he's like a little bit creepy.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
He looks like he's creepy in the workplace.
He
looks like he's creepy in real life, and
down
the street.
He's like, yeah, I'm 50, but I'm actually 42
also, he just
biologically.
looks like he has a lot of Botox. Is that just me?
It looks like, yeah, he looks like he just got work done.
Yeah.
Hello?
He just looks like the rest of Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's not that impressive.
No, not really at all.
And also, like, you're all aging backwards. Like, are you really aging backwards, or do you just have fantastic plastic surgeons? Because if so, I mean, sign me up. I do have a furrow between my eyebrows. So,
Well, like, I'm kind of like, okay, also, he's like 50, but like biologically, he's like 44. That's not like that impressive.
no.
That's like 6 years, whatever that is.
What fucking ever, bro? We're
Like,
all
who
gonna
ca-
die. Why don't we just embrace
And he spent like
mortality?
millions of dollars on that. Like, bro,
I'm so over that.
bro, chill out.
That's the thing about LA that icks me out. It's
Yeah.
like everyone feels like they're trying to age backwards, and I'm like, you just look plastic. Like,
Yeah.
I miss people that look a little bit ugly. You know what I mean? There's some beauty
They
in
just look
ugliness.
real.
There really just is.
Well, I mean,
Also, in movies and TV, like real movies and TV, no one wants to see a fucking perfect Botox face.
No.
Not that I'm not saying like 100% I will probably get Botox when I'm older. Like, who fucking knows? We don't know. But all I'm saying is like sometimes it's refreshing to see a real face or
Definitely.
to see some wrinkles or to see, I don't know, but there's also pressure there, especially with women. So,
well, I
that's
think that
not-
you just want to see something that feels real. And there's something weird about trying to look like trying to look like everyone else. Like if that's the specific look that everyone wants to attain, then you're just trying to look like everyone else.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know, Sophia. But I don't know. My opinion on it hasn't changed. I think that look, one of the biggest companies in the world right now is Reddit. And the reason why I think that's the case is because you get highly personalized opinions from specific communities. You can look up,
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
it's like the 5th most popular website in the United States. It's like it's more, I think it's valued almost just as high as like Palantir, which is like a huge AI stock. And I think it's literally because it has a lot of real people who post about highly specific things.
And they post crazy things.
I
Do you
mean-
guys ever watch those? I mean, I know I'm not like advocating for scrolling right now, but I do it. And there's these accounts where people are like reading Reddit stories.
Yeah, Reddit's crazy.
I get addicted to them, like especially the ones where like I cheated on my blah 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 of 15 years with his brother. Like something like it's so unhinged, you know, it's just so unhinged and they're
Yeah.
real people. And I guess the value in that is that you know that that's real shit right there.
Yeah, and it's very crazy. It's very specific. And I think that clearly people have a desire to engage with that sort of stuff. Because, you know, things like X, things like Facebook, it's like all bots. It's all fake. It doesn't feel real. It feels like swing towards something in specific. So, I don't know. I think that people are going to have a desire again to interact. They say like kids who are growing up nowadays like smile 50% less than kids who grew up our age, or it could be like 40%.
Why?
Because they don't see their friends. Like they're on their phones.
How would you
They're
go
texting.
about raising a kid in this day and age?
That's an interesting question. I think that maybe this is crazy, but I would try to send them to a school that doesn't allow phone usage specifically.
Do you think are there schools like that?
Yeah, there's
There
a lot
are.
more schools like that.
Have you looked into it?
There's a company that focuses on that, and they've gotten into a lot of schools in the United States. So I thought that was interesting. I think that computers are important for kids to learn how to use, but I think that phones, like you have your whole life to use your phone.
I agree. I don't think I would allow phone usage until at least 7th grade.
Yeah, I agree. I think that that's great.
I'm glad that we're.
I
on the
mean,
same
it's
page
tough
there.
because it's hard to know, like, what if their friends all are using phones in 4th grade?
Right.
But at the same time, it's like,
I'd be like, you know what? You need a little bit of trauma because your life is easy enough as it is. Honestly.
Yeah. No, I think that that's fair. I mean, it's, I think it's a real problem.
Yeah, it is.
For the reason that it's so much easier to just isolate.
Yeah.
And that feels really, I think the long-term generational effects of that
I
are
feel
pretty
isolated.
severe.
Honestly, I think the reason why my job has helped is because I haven't been scrolling as much.
That's totally fair. And you're probably doing much more face-to-face interactions with people.
Yeah.
And then you can value that time where you're actually on your phone.
And the thing is like, unless someone else is controlling that for you, you don't. I mean, even the time that I get on my phone now, I feel a little bit like, oh, this is a waste of my time because I spend 9 to 5 at the office. So I might as well like go out with my friends, or I might as well get a drink with my boyfriend, or I might as well go for a walk in nature. Like
Right.
I do feel more of that, which I really didn't. I thought my getting a job, and obviously I've only been 2 weeks in, but I thought it would have the opposite effect to me.
Yeah.
But sorry, what was I saying?
No, I mean, just you feel more regimented.
Yeah, I feel more regimented. I do think though that that's kind of out of your control, right? Like if you are sitting at home a lot of the time, the things that are around you to distract you when you're bored are your phone.
Right.
I think it's really difficult for someone to reach for a book versus their phone, or to like even watch TV versus their phone, right?
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
I do think that systems
even-
need to be in place for you to avoid your phone.
I think especially for a young kid, I mean, it was interesting. I was watching this show that kind of makes fun of Wahlburgers.
Oh yeah.
And in Wahlburgers, it's Mark Wahlberg who, like, they have their son, and he's going through his, like, card collection of, like, these baseball cards. And he's, like, showing, like, he has portfolios of baseball cards that, like, his father bought him. And his dad then goes on, like, a tangent and is like, yeah, you know, I wish I could spend more time with him, but, like, I got to go off and do this movie. And I thought that was so interesting because
Wait,
it's
is
like,
this real?
yeah,
This is based on a true story.
this is Wahlburgers, his show.
And it's based off of Mark Wahlberg's life.
It's his show. He's like, he has a restaurant, Wahlburgers.
So he created the show.
Yeah, it's with his brothers. It's like it's like a reality TV show
Okay, I don't understand.
from his restaurant.
I thought it was making fun of the restaurant. 'Cause
No.
it's pretty comical. But anyway, continue.
It's a real show, Wahlburgers, from his restaurant, Wahlburgers, where they follow him and his brothers around and his family as they run this restaurant, Wahlburgers. So in the show, they're talking about his son going through like he's showing his like card collection. And I'm like, the biggest way to like kill a child's interest or like drive towards curiosity is to just like give them the thing that they want. Do you know what I mean?
So explain the card collection situation.
Because it's like, my son is really interested in cards and baseball. Oh, I'm just going to buy him all the cards he wants.
Yeah, that's so true.
Instead of him reading about cards, like
That's
learning about
so
the players he
true.
likes, he can just buy. Oh, I'm not going to spend time with him
Because
learning.
it also takes away the novelty.
Takes away the novelty. It's so. I mean, there's something like. I mean, I'm trying to think what like. But like Pokemon, I mean, it's a game or whatever, but like the value
Shiny
isn't when
Turtwig.
you catch them all. It's like the process of fucking doing the thing.
Yeah.
And I think that that's true to anything you do.
And that's why we love acting so much, you guys, because it's so unattainable. And it's the fact that we show up every day and continue getting on this podcast and say that we're chasing acting, even though we haven't gotten anything yet. But we will.
Well, I think that does drive curiosity. And
It
I think
keeps life spicy.
well, and then there's something again, and I think it links to scrolling, which is that it's an instant gratification towards like a dopamine response. And I think another good metaphor for that is like, you know, and I know there's a lot of like toxicity with like the working out culture, but in the way that working out, you never want to work out. You're never like, oh, I desperately want to do this, but you always feel better after having done it.
Yeah.
So like you're never going to want to feel like I should do the thing that's going to be hard for me, but it's going to be better for me. And I think phones are such a great example of why doing that hard thing is so important, is because it's so easy to just sit on your phone all day and just waste your like
so
literally
easy.
years of your life. It's so easy. Like it's so easy to literally to wake up and just be like, oh, whoops.
Yeah.
I don't think that's hard
I
to do
think
at
that
all.
I was doing that for 3 years. Like, I'm not even kidding. I think I was in a really stuck place, and I don't know.
Well, I think that people don't talk enough about the transition from, and if you've been watching this for a while, you've literally freaking seen us do
You've
this
seen the
live,
transition, yeah.
of just graduating college to through your early to mid 20s, which is like trying to find structure and what you want to do and what you value and the things that you want. There's a lot of things that you realize were not adding value to your life that you were holding on to because it felt comfortable or it was scary to let go of. And you just have to realize that your time in your life is much more valuable than that.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be selective about what you want to be doing with your time.
Yeah.
What's up with you, though?
Nothing much, bro.
All right.
I just love you.
Love you too, dog. You got anything else to say?
Not really, you guys. I mean, I don't know. I think that this has been a really tough year looking back. It kind of feels like it flew by in a way.
Definitely.
I don't know. I think like also I've weirdly dealt with not to get deep, but the idea of mortality a lot this year.
Mm-hmm.
And just the fact that in various aspects of my life that you can lose something in an instant, and also I don't know, the importance of not taking life for granted. And I know that sounds really cliche, but I think that it was very much a thing for my family, specifically my dad's side of the family, to kind of live in this state because they grew up with a lot of suffering too, and a lot of came from very hard backgrounds of like, I don't really know what I'm trying to say, but just that life is always so hard, and this idea that even when it did get better for them, and even though they did have a lot of positive experience in America, that life was always so hard. And I don't know, I think living that way your whole life is really detrimental. And I think that I've realized in a weird way, like I was always a very anxious person, and I was always very serious about life, and I was always very scared that my life wouldn't work out the way I wanted. And it hasn't necessarily worked out the way I wanted. This isn't where I thought I would be 3 years post grad, but I think I've come to a point, maybe because this year really forced me to confront those things. I've come to a point where I'm like, no one else is going to enjoy my life for me.
Right.
And for so long, I think I felt very out of place in a lot of spaces. And I kind of had this idea that I was going to like really make it and then get revenge on all these people. But I think what I've realized as I've gotten older is like, by doing that, I'm taking time away from my own life. And I don't think I understood how precious my life was really until this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want those losses or those feelings of fear that I have to go to waste, because I've seen my family suffer, and I'm going to take that and learn from it. And I refuse to feel guilty in that as well. I think like when you're caring for a loved one, or when your family is, and especially if you come from a very like cultural family where maybe generationally you're a little more removed from like American culture. I think that's a common thing to like prioritize your family first. I don't know. I think for so long I felt so guilty for like leaving home or for living my life, or I don't know, for so many different things that stopped me from enjoying my life. And I'm so just done with it. Like, I don't know how else to describe it aside from being tired of it.
Well, it's like, what is that pain over time? I mean, you can't let go of it. You have to live with it. And I think a quote that I think about a lot is, I think it's Tolkien, but I think Stephen Colbert also talks about it. But he says like, he, for example, like his father and his brother died in a commercial plane crash, and he writes about having to learn to love the thing he wish hadn't happened most.
Wow.
Because suffering is a gift from God.
Well, the funny thing is, like, I'm being very vulnerable here right now on this pod, but I think that I thought like when I experienced a loss or tragedy in my life, that a lot of things would change. And I think I thought that a lot of people would change and it would all be for some reason. And I didn't find that to be the case thus far. Of course, it hasn't been that long. But like my grandfather has gotten sick, and I do think it's somewhat an emotional result of my cousin passing. And I don't know. I think that I expected, like, I really thought in my head, and maybe this was positive thinking, that because my cousin has passed, my grandparents will have this will to live because they saw this child pass.
Right.
And that wasn't the case at all.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a choice. And that's what, when something tragic happens, there's so much that's out of your control that you have to realize that the only choices I have are how I respond to these things that are out of my control.
Yeah, you're right. I think I just like, I saw so much also. No, go ahead.
No, what were you saying?
I just saw also so much like with my grandparents and with that side, like, I guess we just get so stuck in our ways, you know?
Yeah.
And I was always someone that was a glass half empty person. I was a glass half empty person, and I was an anxious person. I was a doomsday person, and I didn't find enjoyment in anything unless I felt like I was working toward my goal in life. And you can't be constantly working on acting, because the truth is, if you're pursuing that career, the opportunities just are not there 24/7. That's just life. That's just how it is in any career, but especially in that career. And so I felt myself getting lost in scrolling, or in comparing myself to others, or in doing things that kept my mind active and numbed my mind, but weren't necessarily life. And I just felt that way for a really long time. And I felt really guilty for a really long time. And yeah, I think just seeing loss personally and up close, I don't know, you realize that, like, I felt that I've realized this year personally, and I don't know if anyone else around me has realized it, so that's why it kind of feels a little odd, is that it sounds cliche, but life is really freaking short. I always wanted to be working towards something in life so that I could say that I got there. But at the end of the day, like, no one's really going to remember you for those things anyway. And don't you want to say that you were able to, like, speak another language and communicate with people, or travel or love someone more than you've ever loved someone and spend your entire life with them, or be with family that really values you, or having moved away from family and been the first person, like it. I think I thought that everything was so fucking important. And at the end of the day, I just feel that what the important part is that at least you tried to do something, or at least you tried to live, or at least you wanted to live, because so many people don't even want to live.
Mm-hmm.
And so many people don't want to live and don't even understand how much of a gift it is to have life. And I think that it doesn't make me angry. It just makes me a little bit sad.
Yeah.
And now I'm getting emotional on this pod, you guys, as I always do. But I'm not going to cry. I'm just telling you guys to be grateful, I guess, because I've seen firsthand what not being grateful does to someone. And I think that it almost sets up a tragedy in a way, which is...
I mean, it's almost like that's fine if that's how you want to perceive your life, and that's fine if you want to live your life. No one's going to convince you that that's not what you should be doing with your time. No one cares, and that's the part that I think it's difficult to grapple with. It's like when you're a toddler and you're throwing a tantrum and you want your parents' attention and you go hide in the corner.
Yeah.
Because you want them to come and get you and tell you everything's okay.
Yes.
But then you just live your whole life like that. And your parents aren't always going to be there. And you're just by yourself and you're choosing to be that kid.
Yeah.
Just asking for someone to say that they see you or tell you that you should be doing this with your life. And at some point you just need to take ownership and choose to live. Because you're the only person in control of that.
And there's something so freeing in that.
Yeah.
Like, I think I've had, on the outside, the worst year of my life. But I'm also feel the happiest that I have in a really long time. And I'm not saying that I'm happy about what has happened in any way. I'm very sad about a lot of things in my life right now. But I feel sure of myself. And I think back to a time when, sorry, I'm like burping, when I had everything. Like I had, everyone in my family was healthy. I didn't know what it was like for people to be sick. I didn't know what it was like to lose someone. And I never even thought of that because it was so outside of what I knew. And that was such a privilege. But I was so anxious and scared and living my life just constantly on edge because I did that to myself, you know? And now I've lost a lot, but I don't know. I have a different outlook, and it's freeing in a little bit of a way. Especially, I guess, when there's a lot of sadness to come.
Well, yeah, you can always make the decision, and I think that it's not cliche at all, but when really hard times or really terrible things happen, or you lose a family member, or you lose a friend, or whatever it might be, it forces you to confront how you're going to respond emotionally, the choices you're going to make, and it causes you to reflect on your life. And it reminds you that your life is just a series of choices, and you can make the choice to live with as much, it doesn't even have to be joy, but with the freedom of knowing that you have choices.
Yeah. And I think for most of your life, you feel like you don't.
Mm-hmm.
And that's such a lie that people tell you.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know. First of all, I know that not everyone has the resources to do what you want to do with your life. That is 100% true. But if you genuinely live in an illusion that you could do whatever you want with your life. If you are delusional and you tell yourself you could do whatever you want with your life, how much more fucking enjoyable is that? Like just a simple thing of like, it is more enjoyable to think that you can do whatever the fuck you want with your life. I mean, I'm working at a fucking geotech firm. Do you guys ever think I would ever think that I could do that with my life? I didn't even take math or science at school. I think it's just more fun to live life like, who cares? And I know that sounds really cliche because I would see podcasts like that would say those things. And I'd be like, what losers? Like, they don't know what they're talking about. But I'm at a point in my life where I know that it's short and I'm still working toward goals. I have huge goals for myself, but I need to enjoy every day while I work toward that goal because it doesn't help to suffer.
And you don't have the choice of when that day is going to come.
No, you don't. And of course,
and
like,
the suffering doesn't help.
No, the self-inflicted suffering is what I'm talking about as well, because there are circumstances that people basically there are
things that are out of your control.
There are things that are out of your control, and it is definitely harder for some people than others. But what I'm talking about is like a self-inflicted suffering, and also I think that this happens to a lot of privileged people, because I think that I'm a very privileged person, and I was fully causing myself suffering. And then when I lost something, that kind of like opened something up for me.
Well, widens your perspective that you're not the only... the world doesn't...
It doesn't revolve around you. It actually doesn't.
Yeah.
So the thing is like, you could do whatever you want, and it probably won't affect that many things, which is kind of, it feels scary when you think about it, but it's also really freeing because it's like,
yeah, you could do anything you want.
Yeah.
And it's fine.
I don't know. This sounds very philosophical and like really weird and woo-woo.
So we'll end it off on a philosophical note. If God gives us free will, we're responsible for what we do or what we fail to do.
Wow. Fun, bitches. This was a crazy one, truly. I'm going to have some cheese now. Cheers to that.